Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the DFS experience for Tuesday, April 19th. We have a 3-game slate. Same participants as of the day before, so we know what we're dealing with. It's going to be much more the same. Nothing's going to change. Jet 98, must-win game. You're not going to beat Minnesota 4 games in a row. If you start getting, if you start going down 0-2. Memphis plays well. Minnesota has better talent. Minnesota's starting to play well. If Minnesota plays well with better talent, they will win. If Memphis plays well with lesser talent, they'll lose. So it's all up to Minnesota if they want to win this series or not. It's not on Memphis. Memphis is good, but like I've been saying before, Minnesota's coming. I've been saying it all year. Well, they arrived. They're here. So, they made it right on time for the party, and Memphis is in trouble. You can't, do what you did in the regular season and think that it's going to work in the playoffs. Pat Bev ain't going to let that happen. You know what I'm saying? It's just not going to happen. So, look at Trae Young. What happened in Miami? What happened in Game 1? All that Trae Young issue wasn't working anymore, right? Running around smiling, chucking shots. What happened? What happened? Bad game, huh? Yeah, it's the playoffs. It's a different animal. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I love players that do different things. Score some, rebound, assist. Because guess what? If your shot not falling, you're still going to get fantasy points. Look at OG tonight. It's 10:24 East Coast time. OG's doing everything. You know what I'm saying? I got, people that do everything. You play with shooters and they have a bad night. It's early night. We all know this. You know what I'm saying? McCollum. So let's start from the top. Ja. Okay, I said all that to say this. Ja's not a must play. He's a good play, but he's not a must play. He's 9,800. You need 60 fantasy points from him. You need 58 fantasy points from him if you're going to make any noise at 9,800. So you think he's going to get 60? He could. He could in a bounce back game. He could. I think it's 50-50 if he has a bounce back game. But, this team needs to play well too. If Cat has a bad game, AD could pick him up. If Anthony Edwards, if Edwards have a bad game, Russell could pick him up. You know what I'm saying? It's like they got 3 guys that could score when they feel like it. So, Memphis probably has 2. Dillon Brooks shoots a lot, but I like Bane. Dillon Brooks just shoots a lot, but he's not no OG scorer like that. You know what I'm saying? So listen, they got their hands full. John Morant's not a must play. Trae Young is not a must play. Probably a better play because he's cheaper. Must win game. Trae Young is matchup proof, but Miami has a great defense. So you gotta wait. You know what I'm saying? I have maybe 10-20% of Trae Young. Maybe, 10% of John Morant. Booker. I like Booker better than both of those guys. Who won New Orleans is stopping Booker? Tell me that. Chris Paul, same thing. I played Paul and Booker as my spin-ups, and that worked out. McCollum's a decent play. Russell. The thing with my Minnesota is that you got to figure out which 2 out of the big 3 is gonna go off. Can't play all 3. Pick 2. Usually, Cat and Edwards or Cat and Russell. If you want to be cute, hope that Cat has a bad game. Russell and Edwards. That's not gonna happen though, because Cat gets rebounds and Cat does a lot of different things. He's literally like a point center somewhat. You know what I'm saying? He does a lot of everything. Lowry, 6,300. He's in play. Beverly's in play at 5,600 as a value. If I'm not mistaken, I've seen a lot of people play Oladipo, and he played last time I checked, he played like 0 minutes. Let's investigate. He didn't play, because this was against Orlando. He didn't even play. Wow. That sucks, don't it? Let's continue. I did play Melton in one lineup. He absolutely was disappointing. Probably never going to play him again in the playoffs. That's about it. Like to keep it starters maybe the 6th or 7th man off the bench if you follow NBA and you know who these guys are. If you're confident in your 6th and 7th player off the bench, which is essentially your 1st or 2nd player off the bench, should get 18 to 24 minutes. If you know your team and you're comfortable with that, that's fine. Like a Tyler Hero type player. But I'm not playing these guys on the bench. If you thought my player pool was tight before, man, it just got a whole lot tighter after. Once you see the first game in a series, you see tendencies. You see team tendencies. What they're most likely to do. And you know what? 14 minutes of melting is all I needed to see. No more. So my value for point guard is literally Patrick Beverley and Kyle Lowry. Even though Kyle Lowry's like a mid-range. But Beverley is my value. Let me see something. Tyus Jones plays 16 minutes. That's not going to get it done. So, Patrick Beverley is my value for shooting guard. McCollum's alright. Hero was alright. They didn't need him. Bane at 64 looks good. Brooks. They're going to need these two guys to step up. Oladipo. He should be $0 if he's not going to play. Beasley. I had Beasley. I just took a shot on him. He's not gonna have the game he had every game though. Don't get caught up 30 minutes. 14 shots for a bench player. That's crazy. He's not gonna get that all the time. So don't. You can game chase if you want. You know what I'm saying? You can do what you like, but don't think he's gonna have that type of game again. Herder. I don't usually play Herder. Struss was alright. He started. And the guy of the night. Where is he? Where you go, buddy? Oh, is he small forward now? We know where we're going. We know who I'm talking about. Duncan Robinson. Duncan Robinson showed up for the first time all year. You think he's gonna shoot 8 threes again? If you think that he's gonna hit 8 threes again, play him in 23 minutes. He's gonna miss one shot, 9 of 10. You think so? If you think so, play him. He could be good value. I'm not gonna play him, but you could play him. You know what I'm saying? Maybe if I play 50 lineups, I play him in one, but I'm not playing 50 lineups. And if he does it again, well, guess what? Maybe they are onto something. But right now, one game doesn't. It's not a reason for me to waste a spot on Duncan Robinson. Butler's in play. Edwards, lock him in. He's arrived. Ingram's in play. Phoenix defense is tough, like I said. I said that in the video before the game 1, I said that I'd rather McCollum because Mikal Bridges would be on Brandon Ingram. 39 minutes, 6 of 17 shooting, 30 fantasy points. So, Brandon Ingram's going to have a tough series. I'll just leave that right there. Mikal Bridges is a fine play. He does a little bit of everything. Kyle Anderson, another bench guy from Memphis. The only bench guy from Memphis that I feel confident in is Brandon Clark. And we'll get to him when we get to him. Everybody else, Herbert Jones, I'll take a shot on him. He plays a little defense. DeAndre Hunter hasn't been wowing me lately. 1, 25, 34, 15, 19. He does a little bit of everything, but they're going to need him to do a lot of everything if they're going to keep up with Miami. So if your game script is that Atlanta comes back and wins, throw in DeAndre Hunter because they're going to need him. You understand what I'm saying? So, that's how you got to look at playoff basketball. It can't just be looking at your optimizer. You got to put a script in your head. Who's going to do what on this team? Who's going to play over 30 minutes? Who's going to take shots? Who's going to rebound? Who's going to play defense? Who's going to potentially get some steals and some blocks? You should be thinking that for every spot. You know what I'm saying? Every spot is special. You just put somebody in a spot, just to put them in the spot to fill the spot, you lose. It's playoff basketball. Where are we? Jay Crowder. Listen, I know. Listen, I know what you're saying. Listen, Chapo. We need to play somebody. It's a 3-game slate. Yes, I understand. I know I'm very tough, but listen. I hear you. Get your game script. Put a game script in your head how you think the game is gonna go. Then pick your players. Out of that pool. Starters or first or second guys off the bench. That's going to be necessary pieces for your team to win. For that team you think that's going to win or to be competitive, that's how you pick winning DFS players. Jay Crowder, I thought Jay Crowder could get me 20, 24 fantasy points, 7 rebounds, 2 blocks, 1 steal, 3 threes. He couldn't even do that. So, I don't know. You might have to go back to him. He's 4,400 and starting. But man, was he awful. Cam Johnson, 23 minutes, 13 fantasy points. Will not get the job done. Herbert Jones is always in play because of his minutes and his activity. Not because of his scoring, but because of his minutes, activity, and yes, he can hit an open shot. Max Struss, you're playing 20 lineups, you can play him in 1. And Trey Murphy's going to get a couple minutes. But it's going to help you win. 26 minutes is enough minutes to help you win, but it didn't work out. I wouldn't be playing with Phoenix, though. I want to play with them. They're not here to play. They're here to win championships. Brandon Clark's salary went up $1,100. Something like that. Let me see. Brandon Clark. Alright, $600. But it still went up a lot. Because they know the deal. They know he was too cheap. He's priced correctly now, which throws a monkey wrench into what I was going to do. But Brandon Clark is still, still a good player off the bench. And he's value. Jaren Jackson Jr. is in play. They're going to need him if they're going to come back without him getting in foul trouble. John Collins, he's 5,100. If he comes off the bench, I'm going to just leave him on the bench. 21 minutes, that's not going to help me. John Collins is supposed to be one of their stars. If he can't play, then he can't play. 21 minutes is not doing nothing. Gallinari's hit or miss, 4,900. Brandon Clark, I prefer over Kyle Anderson. Larry Nance is taking Jackson Hayes. Jackson Hayes is unplayable. And Larry Nance has always been over a 1 fantasy point per minute player. So if they're catching on to that he needs to be playing, then we need to be playing him at $4,400. He needs to start. I don't know what they're doing. Like, what Jackson Hayes isn't being used. Like, let me see something. Jackson Hayes went down to $3,500 because he's not being used. Jackson Hayes was 5K, 5,400 beginning of the month, or 8 days ago. Jackson Hayes was 5,400. Then he went to 5K because they realized he was useless. Then he went down to 4,300 because they realized he was even more useless. Then he went down to 3,900, and now he's 3,500. He shouldn't even start. You're wasting space and time, valuable minutes that Larry Nance could be helping you win a game. Jesus Christ, you gotta tell these people everything. These are paid professionals. So no Jackson Hayes for us, okay? All right. John Collins, if he's coming off the bench again, then he can go screw himself. Larry Nance, listen, Jay Crowder is in play again, unfortunately. Can't really get around him. Herbert Jones. And you can absolutely fade Jay Crowder if you feel like it. Vanderbilt's in play, but what his minutes look like. 19 minutes. Listen, he doesn't score, and they're playing Beasley now. So pay attention to trends. If Vanderbilt is trending down and Beasley's trending up, then you know what to do. In the playoffs, coaches are going to play players that are going to help them win that game. It's not about starters getting their minutes and all that it's about who's hot and who's helping me win right now. That's what playoffs is about. So if you have a guy that was hot in the last game, he's gonna get a chance in the next game, bench player or not. Okay. All right. Cat 9,500 in play. Bam wasn't looking to score. Is Bam hurt? Questionable. Okay, Bam is hurt, and that could be the reason for his pathetic fantasy score. I didn't watch this Miami game yet. Yesterday was Easter. Had my baby niece over the house, so I only really watched the Boston game and the Nets game, which we'll talk about, I guess, another day. But I haven't watched this Miami game yet to see what the hell is wrong with Bam Adebayo. So if something's wrong with him and I don't mention it, I don't know. Besides his bruised quad, but I'm gonna watch the game in a little bit and double check, watch what's going on with Miami, and then that's that. But yeah, if Bam can't go, everybody, the starters. Okay, let me just do this for you. Let me help you guys out. That's what we're here to do. Break these things down. If Bam doesn't play, pretty sure he will. If Bam doesn't play, Butler gets a bump. I guess Dedmon starts and gets a bump, even though we know it should be year 7. But Dedmon, he's injured too. What in the fuck is going on here? Dedmon ankle. Okay, so listen. I hate playing players that have bad ankles. I might just fade them. So let's do this. If just hear me out. If Bam is out, Butler gets a bump. PJ Tucker gets a bump. No, I don't want to hear it. Yeah, I know he's trash. But in Miami, it works. 24 minutes. Yeah, he hit 6 for 8. He hit all his threes. 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 25 fantasy points. If Bam is out, he gets a little bit more minutes. He gets a little bit more opportunity. At $3,900, he's worth it. And if I'm not mistaken, he was in some of the winning lineups because of his price. So don't front on PJ Tucker tomorrow night. Duncan Robinson, listen, I never want to give Duncan Robinson a bump because he's historically bad, but if he's in the starting lineup, oh God, I guess you could play him. And Max Struss, I'd rather play Max Struss. If they start Oladipo, you could play him. If Oladipo don't start, he may not play. So just be careful with Miami. All right, just be careful. All right, where were we? Power forward. Okay, center. Okay, Valanciunas is in play. Ayton can't keep him off the glass. Ayton's in play. Valanciunas can't stop him from doing whatever he's doing. Steven Adams, fool me once, shame on me. I'm not going to let you fool me twice. Adams, well, he got into foul trouble. We know that. Should we go back to him? Should I be a real idiot and go back to Steven Adams at $5,200 and pray he does his thing? Steven Adams could be a monster when he's given the chance. 28 minutes against Gobert, 13 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 block. I dubbed him a point center, and he turned around and gave me 24 minutes, 3 rebounds, 4 fouls, and 7 assists. Jesus Christ. And 7 fantasy points. Steven Adams, what's wrong with you? So, listen, you know what? My gut is telling me go back to him. Opportunity cost isn't that high because it's only Cat at center, and you have 2 spots for center. So I might go back to Steven Adams, $5,200, and pray to the gods that he can stay out of foul trouble. Because if he can stay out of foul trouble, he'll be able to grab every rebound he wants and help Memphis in a comeback win, in a must win. So Steven Adams is in play. Okongwu's trash. Okongwu's not trash. It's just that they're not going to play him. He's not going to get enough minutes. 21 minutes at the starting center. That tells you that they're not going to play him a lot. So I'm good. He was in foul trouble too. Yeah, I understand, but listen, you got to win these games. You know, somebody in foul trouble, you can't sit him, you know, whole third quarter. You can't do that. You got to play him if you want to win the game. Because guess what? By the time you come back in the game, you're getting blown out. I'm not talking about Okongu. I'm talking about any team that's sitting a player because they have foul trouble. You're saving them for the end of the game, but what good is it if they're down by 19, 20, 21? You know what I'm saying? So they got to play. They got to play. This is the playoffs. So, yeah, Brandon Clark. You want to take a shot on McGee? He is expensive as a bench center or center coming off the bench. And Biyombo. It's funny because the optimizers were putting Biyombo in a lot of lineups to help you get to other stars, like, you know, part of your lineup. Because his salary was cheap. So a lot of lineups had Bismack Biyombo, and I'm like, wait a minute. You got Ayton, you got McGee. How the fuck is Bismack Biyombo gonna play in this game? So I had to manually made all my lineups, but it's like, damn, these optimizers are really setting you up for failure. So be careful with. I think I told you that last video. Be careful with optimizers as far as playoff time, because they're gonna jam you up. I promise you that. Let's get 5 guys. Let's get out of here. So I do love Patrick Beverly as a value. Do I feel like Memphis is gonna come back? They were so good in the regular season. You know, they should. Ja. Jesus Christ. Ja. Steven Adams. Anthony Edwards. Mikal Bridges. If there's no Bam, I'm playing Butler instead of Ja. Ja is pricey. $9,800. 5 times value is about 48 fantasy points, which you can hit. Power forward, Jaren Jackson. Ja, Anthony Edwards, Mikal Bridges, Jaren Jackson. You could probably even play this, because Mikal Bridges and Steven Adams are value. Jaren Jackson's mid-range, Edwards, John Morant are my spend-ups. I think Memphis comes back. Ja has a big game. Adams has a big game on the boards. Jaren Jackson has a lot of blocks, plays well. Mikal Bridges is all-around player, and Anthony Edwards has arrived. That's my 5 guys that I like. We're about to jump to FanDuel. If you're new here, welcome. Welcome to this playoff video. I'm sorry it's a little bit long, but I want to make sure we're all on the same page here. If you're new, subscribe, hit the bell, thumbs up, you know, that good stuff. And it is the middle of the month, and my Patreons renew every first of the month. And I usually don't like promoting Patreon in the middle of the month, but because it's playoffs and people are spending big money on these contests, I'm gonna let you know what I do offer. And basically, if you don't have time to do all the research, you don't have time to rewatch games, you don't have time to wait for injury news like Mr. Gary Trent today. You don't have time for all that NBA foolishness, and you just need optimized, updated lineups. Check out the Patreon, links in the description, and every tier includes MLB, and I also send those out right before lock. And I do know that close to lock, some MLB players, they get scratched last minute. Don't worry, I send out updates on that too. This is all I do, okay? I eat, breathe, and sleep DFS, so don't even worry about it. With that being said, let's jump to FanDuel. FanDuel, same participants, just different salaries. We're going to breeze through this real quick to keep this video a little bit short. Don't want to be taking up all your time. You guys listening to me, you got better things to do. Okay. Ja 97 looks good. Chris Paul 96. Wow. Jesus Christ. He okay, first of all, let me just tell you this. Many lineups I'm gonna have Chris Paul because he's somewhat underpriced. I just don't have him here, but he is underpriced. You know what? That's how much I like Chris Paul. Chris Paul is underpriced. Alright, Chris Paul here, 96. He's playable, but he's a little pricey. McCollum's alright. Russell, 73 is fine. Lowry's fine. Beverly is value. And it's going to be tough because I'm not playing anything under Beverly. Let's continue. Edwards is 93. Now they want to just play Booker. You can play either one of them. Booker's due to explode any game now, so you want to be on the right side of it. Anthony Edwards has had his breakout game, so I'll go Booker. But you can play both. McCollum's always a decent play. Hero, if there's no Bam, he might get a few more. He might get a little bump. Bogdan is always hurt. Desmond Bain looks a lot. He's a lock at 5,600. Dylan Brooks, 5,300. He's fine. Malik Beasley. They should play him more minutes since they see what he's done. Duncan Robinson, maybe he gets more minutes, but he's not going to have that type of game again. Herder's okay. Melton, no, for me. Stress starts, he's fine. Wright, 4K, he does get a few minutes, he's alright. And I think I'll stop right there, unless we hear some kind of crazy news. Jimmy Butler, 82, lock. Ingram, 77. He's going to have a hard time with Mikal Bridges, but he is Brandon Ingram. He is the all-star. He is in play. Larry Nance is 5,500. Unless he starts, I'm not paying $5,500 for him. He needs to start at $5,500. Mikal Bridges, he's a good play because he does a little bit of everything. DeAndre Hunter, if you think Atlanta's going to come back, DeAndre Hunter is going to be part of that, so play him. But Atlanta's a mess right now. No Capella. Collins coming off the bench. The rest of the starting lineups are bums, and Trae Young can't do everything by themselves. This might be a sweep. Tucker, if he plays, if he's healthy, $4,500. He's kind of pricey. There's other players you could play. Jay Crowder, you could go back to him. Trey Murphy, you can use him as value. He's going to get a few minutes. Let's go to power forward. Zion's price keeps coming up. He's not even playing. That's weird. Whatever. Bam. Let's see if he's healthy or not. Might fade him. I can't pay $8K for $7,900 for somebody that's not healthy. Jaren Jackson's in play. Collins. If they start him, that means he's good to go. Let's go. If not, if he's coming off the bench again, he can go screw himself. Brandon Clark at $4,900 for a guy coming off the bench. That's crazy. Herbert Jones, $4,700. He starts. That's fine. Vanderbilt, he's losing minutes. I'm good. Jackson Hayes is unplayable. Let's continue. Center, Cat, listen, play him. Valanciunas, play him. DeAndre Ayton, play him. Okongwu, we see what happened. 4,800. I'm good. I'm playing players that I know I'm gonna be playing players that I know they're gonna play minutes, not people that I think are gonna play minutes. It's the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Steven Adams is a lock for me at $4,500. He's not going to be in foul trouble every game, okay? $4,600 to Steven Adams. Yeah. All right, let's get our roster and let's get out of here. So Steven Adams, going right back to him. Butler with no Bam looks amazing at 8,200. That's a crime. Small forward. You got to go to 8. Anthony Edwards. Desmond Bain is too cheap. Ja's 97. Paul is 96. Trae Young is 95. Chris Paul is... I have to go to Ja. It's fine. So I like Ja. I like Bain. I like Edwards. I like Butler. I like Steven Adams. Listen, the player pool here is very tight, so I'm going to have lineups with all of them. Everyone that I said is in play, I'm going to have mix and match lineups with all of them and let the chips fall where they may. Or, yeah, where they may. That's it. So, listen, this video's over. Thank you for watching. I know it was a little bit long, but you have all the tools you need, all the information you need to go out there and smash. So go and smash. Alright, so I'll be back shortly with our MLB video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Ciao.